Oh, that
Holy
was
fuck, that was nice.
Well, you guys are all listening to the Micro Machines podcast. We are back this week talking about our top 3 camouflage schemes. But before that, shall we do some introductions?
Sounds good. So you got me, Callum, all the way in New Zealand, and I am drinking a Mexican beer, Sol, as indicated by the photo there, and it is really, really, really good. Much better than Corona.
Did you put a lime in it?
Ew, God no.
Ugh.
I don't like fruit salad in my beer. Plus, like, you try and stick the wedge in, and it just gets lime juice around it, and then it's just like, it turns your face inside out when you go and take a sip. And it's just like pure lemon. It's just like, so
Well,
that's what I've got. Garrison.
you've got me, Garrison, here in the middle of North America, Kansas, drinking a coffee out of my really cool mug, as seen on the screen, painting on some figures that you'll see later in my whips.
And then you got me, Dennis, here in Ontario. I am drinking a pineapple coconut sparkling water.
Very cool. Very cool. So, we figured this episode we'll change it up again, and we'll go through our top 3 camouflage schemes. This might be a sort of reoccurring theme where we do top 3 things, or top 5, top 10, whatever. We've already done our, was it top 5 models we want?
Yep.
Yeah. So I quite enjoy those sort of episodes. Don't know about you guys, but I like them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's the audience get a little bit more personal with us.
Get intimate with us.
There's a connection, and it's not the internet, baby.
Oh,
All
God.
right.
Come here, boy.
I want Garrison ASMR for Christmas.
I
God.
do not. Okay. Right. So who's first?
Oh. Okay, I get to start
Dennis,
this thing
number
off.
3.
All right, my number 3 is G-tie. I think that's how you say it. I don't think you roll your J. So G-tie is basically the JSDF's main camouflage. In many ways, it's very similar to Fleck Turn, but I find that it has kind of a lighter overall color scheme, you would call it. It's a bit more saturated. As you can see in the right photo, it works very well in these kind of desert and arid conditions. And it is really fun to paint on figures because you don't have to be as precise as you do with Fleck Turn. You can just kind of slap dots of paint on wherever you want, and honestly, it'll look the part.
That does slap pretty hard, I got to say. That photo on the left with the are those scars that they're using?
No, those are
No, that's the Japanese sort of equivalent.
Oh, it's the Hoa Type 20, the Hoa Type 20, which
That's
is
right.
I think it's was an AR-18 variant.
Yeah, it's the stock that threw me off. The little scar. Dennis, don't know if you know this. What is with the Japanese with their training and collecting rounds?
That's not just training. That's not just training, dude.
Okay,
they have
that raises further questions.
I honestly have never heard a good answer. I think it was just I see the guys on motorbikes. They use it a lot, and I think that has to do with they just don't want spent rounds. Obviously it's not a huge issue, but I guess they just don't want them accumulating on stuff like, I don't know, moving parts and stuff like that. I think it's basically just to try and keep spent rounds from going everywhere. But they're the only country I've ever seen that actually does it routinely.
It's kind of embracing a stereotype about Japan, isn't it?
But it does look pretty
clean.
cool, I must say.
It does, though. That's the thing. It does. So this camo scheme definitely suits a more deserty, arid sort of setting. Not something you'd associate with Japan.
I will say it really depends on. See, I've seen a lot of photos of these being used in deep forests in Japan. it is a camouflage which I think has changed over time. There's no one type of G-tie. The same way that there's kind of like, there's no one type of multicam. It's kind of the same deal. I think when this was originally developed, it was a lot darker. And then after Japan went to Samarra in Iraq to help rebuild the city, I think after that point, their camouflage was made considerably lighter. And now, because they train in the United States a lot, I think a combination of sun bleaching and just the fact that the colors used are lighter to begin with, that's kind of made it evolve over time.
Okay, I
Yeah,
gotcha.
Something to think about too is that, and this goes for any camouflage pattern, is that uh, whenever it actually gets used in the environment it was either meant for, or in just another environment that's kind of like it was meant for, it's going to blend in. I had the opportunity to see the Japanese. We did a live fire platoon attack with them at Camp Pendleton, and those guys, them coming off the range, they use, I don't know, how do you say this camo again, Dennis?
G-tie.
G-tie. They were wearing G-tie, and it looked fucking dope. I was a little
Did you get
jealous.
flashbacks, Garrison?
I was looking at it the other day when you first put it up, and I was like, "Fuck, that looks so familiar. Where is that from?" And then you just now said it was from the Japanese. I was like, "Oh, that's right."
Garrison's getting second Battle of the Coral Sea vibes. He's just staring at them during the exercise, like just the blank stare.
That guy on the right, that's a M2 or 3.
That's a Carl G right
Carl
there.
Gustav.
Yeah. Is it an M2 or an M3 variant?
I think it's an M. Garrison, help me out here. M2?
Bro, I have no idea.
It's a Carl G. It looks
The Carl
cool.
Gustavs
G.
they came into the Marine Corps like 4 months after I got out, so I never got to play with them.
You missed out. You missed out.
My buddy sent me a picture of one. I was like, "There's no fucking way." He was like, "Yeah, get fucked." I was like, "Fuck you, dude."
You're sitting there going like, should I redeploy? Should I
It took you
resign?
guys 70 years to acquire them.
Yeah.
I told
like
Beth
that thing's
I
been in
might
service since
re-enlist.
what, 45?
Dude,
Like
that thing's been in
like
service
like
forever.
since the early 50s, late 40s. Like who designed it again? It was
Sweden.
Why is it all the neutral countries come out with the coolest stuff? They just let other countries test it out for them. That's even
Pretty
got
much.
that's even got a bipod on it.
It does. That goes
That's
hard.
probably it too.
That's
I
cool.
would definitely like it if Tamiya, because they've already made some Japanese figures. I'd like it if they made some updated ones for the Type 20s, because that picture on the left, I would love to replicate it, because they already make the vehicle that's in it. It would be nice if they had the figures to go along with it.
Yeah, because their figures are all the old Japanese self-defense force, aren't they?
Which are not, actually still fairly current, but like as time goes on, it is changing.
Question: Does the Tamiya kit supply the ammo catches?
No.
Oh, that not accurate.
Yeah, incorrect. Incorrect.
Yep. I can't unsee it. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
gosh. Alrighty. Next up, we have Garrison.
All right. So my third favorite is my number 3 is gonna be Flecktarn. I absolutely love the. Of course, this dates back to World War II when Germany I apparently had like a room full of dudes just circle jerking different camo schemes and tossing them out there. I just love it reminds me a lot of PDOT, and I love PDOT. So seeing it kind of used today in the modern German military and then in other countries like Ukraine, getting to see it, God damn it, getting to see it being used in combat is pretty cool. It's a good camouflage, I think, especially like I mentioned earlier when it gets kind of dirty and shit. Really one of those that just blends in real well. So I love Flecktarn. I think I've never painted it, but I'm literally about to. I think it's It'll be the dark green, and then the lighter green, and then the brown, and then the black. So
Yeah,
but
Flecktarn's it's a very busy camouflage, isn't it? Like, but
very busy.
it does it just looks so cool. That main photo with the guy, he's got more. Is that just bad photo where it's more red than brown,
I think it's
or
the
is it like there's a
uh,
variation that's like got more red in it for like autumn or something or
that I'm
fall?
not sure. I would probably guess he's either. It looks like it's early morning, and he's probably sweating a lot already.
Mm.
So that, and it looks like a pretty clean uniform. So a mixture of all of that and the lighting might enhance that. Because the guys in the back, you can see theirs do not look nearly as bright. So maybe it's just like
It's just a
a
lighting thing.
yeah, or maybe they contrasted the picture weird or something. I don't know. It
Yeah,
just,
because
but I definitely understand what you're saying.
yeah, because that's definitely that can't be a completely modern German outfit they got on because they're still carrying a G36, and I'm just looking at I can see the shadowy outline of the vehicle in the background. I can't figure out what it
That's
is.
I think not
Oh,
Puma, not Puma.
um,
What was the name of that the Lukes? Yeah,
is it the Luke's?
Not sure.
yeah.
I think that picture was from like 2012. I think.
Yeah, can't be too modern because the German army now use the HK416 predominantly, don't they? Not
Yeah,
the G36, although the G36
that's
looks way better, especially in that
that
photo. It just looks awesome.
that's a relatively newer adjustment too. The
Mm.
rifle switch, kind of like the Marine Corps adopted the M27 back in like the early 2000s, but it didn't get fully brought into full service for everybody until like 2016, 17, I think.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah. Now, Flicktarn's really cool. I like it. Can you imagine doing a vehicle like that?
Oh, that
No,
would be
fuck
so
that.
cool.
I
It'd be a
would. It would look cool, but fuck doing it.
yeah. You would be mentally destroyed
Fair,
afterwards.
fair.
Although, I mean, splatter stencils maybe. I don't know. I'm probably talking out of my ass again. Yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
So this is my third
Hell
round
yeah.
pick.
I think I
So
just heard Don. I think I heard him over here.
yeah. Especially with that black and white photo in the bottom center. So my third pick is the Mickey Mouse scheme for British vehicles in late war. So it's not a camouflage scheme for hiding in. It's more a disruptive scheme for sort of just breaking up outlines of vehicles, making it difficult to spot, range, target, stuff like that. But also, it just looks freaking awesome. And if Don was here, that photo of the Canadian spray painting midway through spray painting a Mickey Mouse scheme on a CMP, he would probably like go out of his way to try and replicate.
Probably.
But yeah, so of course it's called Mickey Mouse scheme because it's just it's basically the same as disc camouflage for Germans. But instead of being discs all round through the center and all that, they tend to have the discs on the outside extremities of the vehicle. That way, it breaks up the straight angles and stuff like that. Typically, it is only painted with a sort of slate to dark, very dark grey, almost black, and just an olive drab. Or, hang on, I've got it right here. So typically, it is with brown and black, although depends. The ones that came over from America were, of course, an olive drab. So they just painted the black discs over the olive drab, and that kind of just went with it. There are a lot of different types of Mickey Mouse in their sort of style. These ones are sort of the standard ones, but you do see others where you can have like a sort of dark grey, and then they have a black outline, like a solid black outline to them, which looks pretty cool. But yeah, it makes the vehicle look awesome. That's why I like the Mickey Mouse.
I'm gonna say this because it was almost a pick for me, but you know how like American Shermans were olive drab and they had the black camo for Normandy,
Mm-hmm.
and like later on, that was almost one of my picks, and then I saw you did this one. Given me it's the same color scheme, so I said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna
Yeah,
hold off." But it just either the Mickey Mouse like this or that color scheme with the painted Shermans, it just looks so fucking good.
yeah, because I have seen examples like models and stuff of Mickey Mouse on Fireflies and on Churchills, which looks pretty damn good.
Oh, I bet.
But yeah, so you got a couple of Bedford trucks, CMP, so they're mainly on heavy utility trucks and stuff like that. Dennis, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious what my thoughts are going to be on it. I think this is basically the most attractive World War II camouflage that ever existed. Like, and it's easy to make too. You can freehand this stuff if you really want. You know.
Or
Oh, 100%.
I was talking with Nick, the scale armorer,
Yep.
last night about it, and he
Shout
suggested,
out, Nick.
yep, shout out Nick. He suggested, going to like any sort of stationery store, and sticker teachers always got those small round coloured stickers,
Oh yeah, yeah.
those dots. Just buying
Oh,
those because they're like $2 a sheet or something, and using those
that
to
makes
form
so
it.
much sense.
That's
Yeah,
smart.
and instead of getting a vinyl mask, just go to your stationery store and pick up like uber cheap colored dots and using those. So that was a good idea by him. Although
Big thinking.
yeah,
Big thinking.
big brain Nick.
My man's cooking. He's using all 20 of our shared brain cells.
But yeah, Mickey Mouse, I love it.
Great camo.
Good shit.
Big fan. Oh crap. Oh, okay, my turn. All right, my next selection is rare multicam. Yeah, I gotta admit, I'm not a fan of the original one that they came out with, or the Scorpion camo it was developed into. But the off-brand stuff, delicious. Absolutely, absolutely, just sparkling looking. So on the left here, you got multicam Tropic, which is very saturated and is heavy on the greens. Then you've got
Lovely.
multicam Alpine, which is kind of their winter camo, and then you've got multicam Arid, which I think it just illustrates how well it works. Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yeah. What? How many countries use this? There'll be like
All
90%
of them,
of
pretty
them.
much.
You're just
I
a
think,
general multicam guy.
yeah. Oh my gosh, what a cool camouflage pattern.
Yeah.
But
I'll
only when you use the right colors.
Yeah, you don't want to be like, say, Australians with their Ozcam
Ozcam is
multicam.
offensive. That's just wrong.
Yeah, Ozcam is
I
like,
think that shit looks good.
Yeah,
it
well,
only look.
we weren't
Yeah.
asking for your opinion, Garrison. We were asking for fact.
Yeah.
You got it anyways, Buster.
See, Ozcam on Abrams looks good.
Yeah, that's
When
good.
it's like scaled up, yeah, the colors work. On a uniform, no.
No.
I'm
It's
glad
kind of
they are
like
changing.
it's kind of like the whole Flecktarn. Like it looks good on a uniform, but I don't think it would be great in that scale on a tank. It would be just too much.
Yeah. I will say that the snow one is annoying me just because he's wearing woodland like uniform. It
Yeah,
kind of gives me that sort of U.S. Marine fuckery of being out in the desert but wearing woodland stuff because
La-dee-dee-dee-da.
reasons. Marine Corps, hoorah.
Yeah.
Happy Core Day, everyone.
We are beyond that, thankfully.
Okay, out of the three, what are your guys' preference? Woodland, arid, or snow?
Woodland.
I'm big on the Tropic. I'm rolling with the Tropic boys.
I kind of like the arid. I like
Arid's
those
pretty
colors.
cool.
Arid's good. Snow, I don't know. Snow multicams are difficult to look good. I think sometimes.
That's fair.
I don't know. It's like you're trying to.
I think you're biased because you don't like the snow.
Yeah, you've never
Well,
experienced snow in your
that
life
as
because you live
well.
in New Zealand.
I mean, we have snow in certain areas.
Yeah,
If you,
the
if you climb
mountains.
up a mountain, if you climb a mountain far enough, yeah. So how difficult would this be to paint, you reckon, on a figure?
Well, Garrison did an amazing job with it.
Well, thank you. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 figures right now that are fully multicammed up. So, and you'll see those later on. It's actually, I was telling Callum, it's actually really, once you break it down, because it looks very intimidating, but once you break it down, it's not hard. It's actually really relaxing, and it might be one of my favorite camo patterns to paint. Even though I absolutely, like, growing up, I hated multicam. I could, because everyone and their mom uses it, and it, like, to me, it, like, back in the day, it was like, oh, only SF uses it, and, like, everyone wanted to be SF, and it was, like, super cringe. So for me, that's, like, my first impression of multicam. But now that, we're getting to see it a lot in large scale conflict, Ukraine, it's a bit more attractive. It's a bit more attractive, and to my eyes now. So being able to paint it, and it looked decent, very happy about it, and it's yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, we roll with the multicam. Alrighty, Garrison. What do you got?
Ah,
Mid.
fuck. All right, shut the fuck up. That was rude. How dare you? All right, so this is the M81 Woodland. Ever since I was a wee lad, I have loved Woodland camo. Okay, now I will say this: it was almost ruined for me. Okay, would you like to know how?
Being in the Marine Corps?
No, actually, that's Marpat was ruined for me there. There we go.
Who ever liked that in the first place?
Oh
I
God,
I
Marpat.
hate Marpat. Fucking hate that shit. Uh, so for me, so you know how, like, people will wear, like, off-brand M81 T-shirts or, like,
Oh
yoga
yeah, where it's
pants.
pink or something.
No, just like it's not the right consistency, and it's like the colors are off, and they turn it into, like, yoga pants or a fucking T-shirt, and it's just like you go to Walmart and you got some fucking 350-pound, 5'3" fucking Jabba the Hutt over here waddling against her cart, breaking it, and she's wearing these two small yoga pants
And
that
that's
are
how the
my
episode got made
precious
into a Patreon episode.
that are my precious M81, and it's like, goddamn, bitch. You would think no one would see all that fat with that camo, but we can see it,
The one-time camo don't work.
right? But no, I love M81. It's super easy to paint. Also, it's also very relaxing. The figures are on the right are some I did recently. Uh, my favorite use of M81 would have to be when the U.S. invaded Panama. You got a lot of really great combat pictures of that,
Oh yeah,
and
just
then
because.
yes, just because. Uh, and then there on the in the center is kind of a modern take on M81. I know the Marine Corps Marsoc Raiders use M81, and it looks fucking tits. Way better than multicam when it's put to modern use, in my opinion. It's got the frog top, the BDU pants. It looks fucking tits. But yeah, great stuff. And if you go to the next slide, Mr. D Man, this is how to paint it. So left to right, kind of see you put down a layer of kind of a medium green. Then you put like I use German camo brown, and then you put I used Iraqi sand, and then black, and then the khaki was used for the shoulder pads, and then just give it a wash, and it's pretty fucking straightforward once you do it.
That does look amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
those look pretty cool. So that was so Panama. That was like Grenada as well. Did they use that? Is that
Yes.
Panama and Grenada? That's different, isn't it? There was different things. Was it? I don't know. American wars
pretty
just get
sure.
so
There's
mixed up.
so many of them.
Yeah, there's just like you've seen one, you've seen them all, and they just blend into one. You know.
Boring. I need Subway Surfers in the bottom right corner of my board.
It's like you line up a bunch of different American veterans, and you're like, "Oh, what war were you a part of?" And each one of them will probably have a different answer.
Yeah, they'll all have a different one. I will say though, like 1980s to 1990s, U.S. Army looked pretty good, and then it kind of
straight vibe.
Then it went downhill.
Yeah.
But like the Grenada and the Panama, like that sort of style. Like if you go back to the back one slide.
Oh, the scrim. You know what it is? It's the scrim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but like that look where they got those are M16. Are those? They're still the A1s, aren't they?
Those
Just
are
A2.
A2s.
A2s, yeah. But like that's that sort of look they got there. That's peak American Army, and then it just went down.
You know what
Yep.
I think? My theory is that we specifically like it so much because it's the most HIDF it ever looked.
That as well, probably.
Think about it. It just stands to reason.
You got to think about it too, like coming from my mind and infantryman's perspective, that time period to be an infantryman then would have been like peak fucking like all state varsity right there comparing to like high school. Like that was no extra plate, no plate carrier, no extra bullshit, just you, your M81, your A2 or 3, your fucking scrim helmet, and your day pack. That's it, baby. And the
And
Bradley you're about to hop in.
1762 round with your name on it.
It'd be like that.
Sam.
I will say I've seen like on YouTube Major Sam, the guy who does like all this.
That's odd. His stuff is so good.
Yeah, have you seen his video on the Grenada invasion?
I've seen Reforger, which was very similar. I bet.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one's really cool. That's a good video. That one's worth watching. That one's good for reference as well.
I go to Major Sam for the references, and I stay for the music.
Oh yeah, have you seen the Yugoslavia People's Militia one?
Of course.
That,
right at the start when the beat drops, that's so good.
That's when you know you're gonna have a good time. That's his music is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those videos of like the Panama, the Grenada, and all that, the ones that he did, they're very good for seeing peak U.S. military look style. Yeah.
There were also those videos that I know Dennis sent me them a while back. It was like the U.S. Army training in Europe, and they've got like the Bradley rolling fucking.
That's what's that training called? Operation.
Reforger.
Yeah, that's the one. Reforger.
Yeah.
But there was one before that.
Techno music going and shit. It's like,
yeah. There was one before that was like Lion something.
Oh, Operation Lionheart.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
That was just Reforger without the Reforger.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are cool as well. We need more of that kind of those kind of dioramas, like West Germany, like in the 80s, like near the collapse of the wall.
That would be so cool.
I want to do because Tamiya's got that U.S. infantryman set with like I think it's the late 80s. I think it is.
Oh yeah. I know the one. Yep.
I want to get those. I want to get those and do a Panama vignette.
That'll be cool. Yeah.
Alrighty, Callum, what do you have for us?
This is my number 2 pick. This is Tiger Stripe, but specifically this is the US adoption in Vietnam for mainly special operations. So Tiger Stripe is like generally Tiger Stripe. Yeah,
you got it.
I need some more fresh air. But
you can do it.
So this isn't specific to this style. It's used all over, usually in very bush heavy jungle heavy sort of things.
Vietnam.
So Vietnam used it. Originally, it was supplied to the ARVN, which is the South Vietnamese soldiers. eventually it got adopted by MacV and all of those sort of ultra
The
cool
funny
special
boys.
forces. Yeah, like have you seen photos of like those soldiers where they got like the Navy SEALs? They use tiger stripe and then they had blue Levi jeans on, walking through the
Oh my
jungle.
god.
That-
It's
that-
the Dutch police method.
That's like the ultimate don't give a fuck. They're there for style. Carrying around a Stoner 63 as well. Oof.
with a fucking joint in their mouth,
Yep.
chilling. Not
Can we have
giving a
those?
fuck.
Can someone release those figures? Those are cool. But yeah, specifically this one. This is more of a because you got the Rhodesian one, which has got a bit of red incorporated for their sort of bushland and stuff like that. But I prefer this one's my favorite one, so it's just purely green, black, and white. I want to try and replicate this for the Ural 4320 that I'm doing for the Musaru Cup. I want to try and replicate this game to
Ooh.
chuck on a truck because this game I think would look really cool on a vehicle. It'd be
Absolutely.
interesting to try and paint. I'm still I haven't even attempted it because I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do that.
It's
But
very similar to the way I painted those HIDF figures, except I think you would need an extra step for the big blotches.
yeah, I'm kind of thinking using ripped up masking tape because to give it the sort of jagged edges around it. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm doing a lot of testing on that right now. But yeah, this camo looks awesome as fuck. I love it.
Okay, and my number one is Relish. They say that every cheap, every masterpiece has its cheap imitation. Marpat. This interestingly was the first digital camouflage ever made. So, massive Canadian W. I like it just because it looks exactly what you would think a camo looks like, and when you see it inside a forest, like you cannot beat this, in my opinion, in terms of concealment. But
in
it
the
just looks
snow,
good.
it's sticking out like a set of dog's bollocks.
Well,
But
notice on the backpacks they do make a white version of it, which kind of
Bro,
surprised me. I didn't realize that.
That's a fucking pack cover, bro.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
but
they are Canadians. When it's snow, they just bury themselves and do the worm through the snow. I mean, that's their
Pretty
mode
much.
of transport.
I can attest to this being the case. Yes.
Well, your Prius almost did it.
On more than one occasion, I assure you. In fact, it has a propensity to do that. It's trying to rescind its Japanese citizenship.
I mean, when you've got so much snow, you're sitting there going, "Am I on the road anymore?" I think you have a problem.
Oh God! Oh no! I still have actual I feel like I have flashbacks sometimes to when I got caught on that illegal snowmobile track and I had to rev the engine all the way through like 3 kilometers of 2 foot deep snow. I still don't know how I survived that.
Did I
Jeez,
tell you
bro.
guys there was a guy at my work who he was on a snow shift one day in a snowplow truck, and he was driving kind of on the outskirts of town, and it was snowing so hard, and he had like a line of cars behind him, and he got off the road so far that the speed limit sign was like 10 feet to his left. He was
Oh
passing it.
no!
He was like, "Oh shit!" and he had all these people behind him too.
Oh God!
You reckon they'll notice the sharp left or right turn back onto the road?
Oh no!
They'll be like, "Hang on a minute."
Gradual ease.
Something here is off. I can feel it.
It's like, wait a second.
why am I turning on a straight?
Oh,
So when you
yeah.
say this is the first digital,
It is quite
camouflage,
literally the first digital camouflage that was ever adopted.
when was that?
Everything else is based off of this.
And when did the Canadians adopt it?
Oh, that was back in the 90s. I forget what year. But...
Damn.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know digital was around that long. Although it does look like a computer from back then, so a computer screen from back in the 90s. So
that's one of the things I like about it. Like you can see other camos, but this one is just timeless to me. It always looks good.
Retro as fuck.
It's the right shade of green. That's what it is. It's green, not tan. And that's good.
Yeah. Nah, I think. So was it CAD Pat? Is that what you call it?
Yeah,
It's even got the word CAD in it, so yeah.
exactly. How could you not love it?
Well,
I like it. I'm a convert. I like it. And I did tell Nick this. I'm not a fan of digital camos, but I like that one.
That one in particular, maybe because it's very classic.
Yeah.
And it's not gray.
yeah, it doesn't blend in with Grandma's couch.
All right, Garrison, you're number one.
All right. I'm basic. I'm a sucker for fucking woodland, three-tone, and Murdsea.
Nerd.
It just looks so good, especially when you add like foliage and like all that other shit you throw on top of it to conceal it better. It blends in so fucking well. Like there's a reason NATO uses it, right? Like it's just so nice.
I will say, like, Abrams Bradleys look way better than in Kark Tan.
Oh yeah.
No. What?
No, I said it looks.
What did you say?
I said it looks way better in this than in Kark Tan.
Oh, bro, I was about to go off.
Oh, I thought we had Ezra rejoining the podcast for a moment.
I did too.
It was terrifying.
God, I just had a heart attack. My blood pressure went up.
Callum, you can't just do that to us, man. That's not fair. You just don't do that.
Come on, man. Read the room.
Yeah.
The Humvee ambulance looks cool.
It does.
And again, Don hears the word ambulance. He's like, "What? What? Where?"
I've been called.
Yeah, are you guys exercising podcast safety?
That shit just looks so tight, bro. Like fucking Murdsea, like multicam. There's all sorts of type of Murdsea. You got the winter, the autumn, the spring, the summer, like the fucking urban. This shit's just pick your poison, baby. It's there. We're ready for you.
It's almost like the three-tone was made for leopards. Like leopards and three-tone look awesome.
I think
they look so fucking hot.
Pardon?
I think to a certain extent it was made for leopards, actually.
Actually, yeah, Dennis is kind of right if you really think about it.
Well, were they like the first ones to sort of adopt it, or?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, at what point did the Americans finally stop just painting everything OD?
I think
I have no.
After Vietnam, or during Vietnam, I think we switched to the three-tone towards the end, and then it really ramped up during like the fucking late 70s, early 80s, I think.
Probably because they started doing like combined warfare training with other countries, and they're looking around going, everyone else looks cool. We need to do that.
Probably.
And at least this camo is actually pretty easy to paint as well.
That's true.
Oh yeah. Very simple to paint, looks good, easy to weather. Like, it's just, I love it.
Very nice.
It's like the great default camo, in my opinion.
Kind of is, really, when you think about tank camos. That's the first one that comes to your mind. All right,
Callum,
this is my number one scheme, the Quanta scheme. So, for people who don't know what Quanta is, it is a very, very early British World War II desert camo. It is again a disruptive camouflage. It turns out it didn't work at all. It was actually really shite. It was standard from 1940 to early 1941, but it was the whole point of it is it's all made up of straight and angled lines and sharp corners, and again, disruptive camo is supposed to disrupt the outline and make it harder to target from tanks, artillery, stuff like that. You can't figure out where the distance is. But no, it didn't really work. So eventually they started switching over to other schemes and as standard, mainly just going with just straight desert color. But for a time, Quanta scheme was the standard, and it looks incredible. It's made up of 4 colors. So you have silver gray, light stone, slate, and Portland stone. That is the names. There's one thing that people get wrong with Quanta, and that is based off that bloody Matilda 2 in the Australian bloody museum, where it's got the bright blue on it. You guys seen that? Have seen that?
I've seen it. Yeah, to me, it based your Matilda off of that.
Yeah, it is wrong completely. Quanta never had blue in it. What was thought was, you see at the top left photo, you got the it's a Bedford, I think, isn't it? No, it's not a CMP. It's not. Doesn't look short enough. Yeah, I think it's Bedford. Anyway, you can see the sort of what's starting to look like blue. That is actually the slate. That is actually the slate color. The slate would actually fade and it would have a slight bluish tinge to it. Also, just off bad photo colorizations from people. It was just kind of like people thought, it's got this blue in it to help with like the blue skyline or anything. No, Quanta never had blue in it at all.
It looks almost like a fucking early war German gray.
Yeah, but it's technically called slate, and it's just a darker gray. But I've got a few examples here on different vehicles because, of course, they painted it on tanks, which means the tanks automatically look awesome, and by the rule of cool, they automatically win any engagement. I reckon that's how wars should be fought now.
It should be, absolutely.
Not tactical or anything, it is rule of cool. If you look better than the other side, you win, hands down, no fighting.
Oh god, no, because then it's going to be a 1-to-1 IPMS fucking contest.
Oh no! And they're going to come out with the rivet counters.
You're going to get some asshole coming out with a fucking front loader, and he's going to pick up a tank with it, and that's going to be the next IPMS scandal.
No, but so we've got a camouflage scheme for the Stuart or Honey, because this is a British, a light tank Mark VI6, and a A9 cruiser, all showing just exactly how the it kind of it's like random-ish, but all Quanta has a sort of a standard where it all meets up into this one point in the back of the vehicle, which I think looks pretty awesome. And yeah, basically, how you do this is it's designed so any sharp, flat surfaces would have a break in it, and then that way it was supposed to make it more difficult to sight in or like identify at distance. Yeah, as I said, it never worked at all. I will say though, if you want to learn how to paint Quanta, I did find on YouTube there was one guy who did a really good tutorial. He did it in 56th scale, and he brush painted it. But he did such a good job. It's Sonic Sledgehammer Studio. He painted it and weathered it, and it looks amazing. And he freehanded it as well, which is even better. Yeah, he didn't even
freehanding all those flat edges.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's a madman right there. But so this is how I am going to paint my CMP truck for my North Africa diorama as well.
That'll be so cool to see.
Hell yeah!
I have no idea how I'm going to mask it all or anything like that, but I'm learning. I'm trying to figure it out. But yeah, Quanta scheme, it just looks awesome. And I'm a big fan.
I'll agree.
And I'm a big fan of Rule of Cool. But yeah, so that is my number one pick.
I'd say that's a pretty damn good pick.
Like even on trucks, it looks pretty awesome. Like the bottom left one. That's what the slate is supposed to look like. The dark grey. That's what slate is supposed to look like. And yeah. So yeah, there's no blue in Quanta. Tamiya got it wrong. Sorry, Dennis, but they got it wrong.
That's okay. I'm willing to admit that.
Yeah, I mean, that was based off that one Australian Matilda 2 as well, which is As Airfix have found, using one reference subject or photo is not a good idea. And for a Vulcan.
Oh God.
Actually, I was listening to the Just Making Conversation podcast when they were interviewing a couple guys from Airfix, and they did bring that up. And when you listen to it, it's like they only used that one photo, and it's like they were like, yeah, we admit it. It went through about a dozen people. No one picked that up. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Although what they did is they fixed it and re-released it with the new update. That means that all the kits that they originally released with that defect in it will now be worth a lot more money now.
That's true. Yeah.
They just inflated the price.
Honestly,
That
that
was the
seems
goal
like
all
typical
along.
Airfix behavior.
Yeah. Well, that's because they keep everything like super secret squirrel when it comes to new releases. So if they do make a mistake, they don't know about it until it is released.
And they don't
So-
they don't actually release the kit until a year after they've announced it.
That as well.
I'm looking at you, Fairy Gannett.
Well, yeah, they announced that a long time ago, but it hasn't. Like, you can't buy it yet, can you?
You know what the worst one is? The ferret, because I have had so many customers asking me, when's my ferret coming? When's my ferret coming? But no, I can't tell them anything because I have no idea. Airfix just straight up refuses to ship to North America.
Really?
Yeah, we've been waiting on that for close to a year now.
Jesus, is that just like some sort of like payback for Boston Tea Party or something?
No, straight up, Airfix is not shipping us what we've been buying.
That is so
They're
weird.
they're giving us the New Zealand experience.
Yeah,
Pretty much, honestly.
welcome to my world. So
Yeah.
that means that the ME410 that they announced at Telford probably won't be seen for a long time then.
Sadly. Which honestly is sad because I kind of like it. It looks neat.
I kind of liked it as well. What I do like about that release is they give you the Night Fighter version or the version with the 50 millimeter cannon on it.
Yeah, the 50 is going to be really neat.
Yeah, that the minute I heard that, it's like, okay, yeah, I will buy it for just to have a 50 millimeter cannon on a fucking 410. But yeah, that is my last pick. If we go to the next slide, it's an
Alrighty.
intermission.
Intermission.
All right, so we'll be back with model news, whips, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, we'll be back in a sec. Okay, so up first on model news, we have been asked to mention the Model Fiesta 24. This is the IPMS San Antonio Model Fiesta held on February 10th at the new Bronfeld Civic and Convention Center.
Do you guys ever get deja vu?
Fuck off. So, yeah, this is the IPMS USA Region 6 contest. Yeah, we have on the slides all the sort of schedule and update and stuff like that. If you go to the next slide, please. A few useful things to know. The theme, Under the Union Jack, all things British. So their theme for 2024 is, the British. I don't know, that seems weird for an American
Yeah, that
model
seems
show.
off character.
Yeah.
Especially Texas, because they're a bunch of like super prideful America, brother.
Yeah, it seems weird. But yeah, theme, all things British, Model Fiesta 2024. You guys go check it out if you're around that area, or if you're within a suitable driving distance. You Americans drive obscene distances to get to places.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, Model Fiesta 2024 have been asked to talk about it, and there you go.
Ooh, Rally Beetle.
Where do I put the 50 on it?
Right, so Ryfield Models, they are bringing out in 35th a Volkswagen Type 87 with full interior. This is basically a weaponized Volkswagen Beetle with some very heavy off-road duty type tires. It actually kind of suits it. I would get this kit just to turn it into a sort of dune buggy.
Yep.
Yeah. But full interior, 35th, would look great in a diorama.
Yes, it would.
Up next.
Oh, yes.
Oh God.
from Edard. This is I think this is a Reeboks or like new decals. This is an X1 Mac Buster. I think, didn't this have a different nickname to it? I can't remember. Nah, I'm blanking. But of course, this is the rocket made by Bell. This is the first one to go past speed of sound. Dennis,
Yep.
am I right?
Yep, that's correct. Yep.
So this was launched from a B. It was launched from a B-29, wasn't it?
Yes.
Modified B-29 in 1940. Why does 1948 come to mind?
I think it was 48.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, 1948. Yeah, 1948. Launched from a Super Fortress B-29. The next one, Mark Buster. Of course, Edard is bringing this one out with a new boxing. It's in 48 scale, and it is a cool looking. Can you call it an aircraft? It's like
Glider.
Well, I mean, it's basically just a fucking ramjet strapped with a pilot strapped to it. Is it even an aircraft at that point?
The damn Japs still have influence.
But yeah, very cool if you like that sort of niche stuff. I know Dennis would.
Oh, I want to build this so badly. Also, it'd be easy to paint because it's just one color.
Yeah, but you don't paint things with the one color they're supposed to.
That's true. Yes.
I mean, you'd probably turn this Japanese, wouldn't you?
Well, after putting AIM-120s on it, yes.
How is that even a question, bro? Of course you would.
Very true.
Come on, Callum. It's me we're talking about here.
Yeah. Oh, and this is also Profi Pack edition. I don't know what that means.
I think that basically means window masks and photo etch.
Oh, so like stuff that should be included anyway. Right. Okay. So going beyond bare minimum.
Shots fired.
Oh, buddy.
that would rile someone up. Okay, what's next?
Ooh.
I saw this one just for Dennis. We've had a lot of Dennis-centric releases. Unfortunately, you weren't around last week for the suicide jet rocket thingy.
I have scolded you.
But anyway, so from Pit Road, I've never heard of this company before.
They're a Japanese company. They do a lot of subjects, actually. They're a lot of Japanese subjects.
Hence why you've heard of them.
Of course.
So they are bringing out an IGN aircraft carrier, the Shioda.
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this will come out in two editions. You have the bog standard, and then they will be releasing one that has a pre-painted flight deck.
Oh,
So,
Okay.
which
that could be a good or bad thing.
I'm in two minds. It's kind of like, I'd say you'd still paint it. You'd just use it as a sort of a mask or an outline, just refine the colors a little bit. But I will say this is actually a quite attractive aircraft carrier. It is weird because it does not have an island in the center. Yeah, it's
Safer.
like this was definitely a conversion from, say, a cruiser, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's got that vibe. But
This
yeah,
is cool looking.
oh yeah, it's cool looking boats and 1700s. Great box
manageable.
art. Yeah, I'd buy it. And next,
Something for you now.
mate, if Don ever watched this,
Oh,
he would,
God.
we would hear
Don.
it from. I would hear it from here.
I'd be in the splash zone.
Oh yeah, things would get sticky in Toronto. From Thunder Model in 35th scale, we have a long-range desert group F-30 patrol truck, which is a CMP converted into a long-range desert group service. They have a great box art of the CMP. It has the roof cut off, it has a Lewis gun attached to it, and it's got a Qantas scheme with the wrong color grey on it. They're also bringing out a limited bonus edition boxing, which will include 3D printed air vent intakes and curved hook, and 3D printed weapon set, driver, and as well as driver and co-driver resin figures, which you can see in the bottom right. Actually, look pretty. They look pretty damn good. So So this is a CMP heavily modified for desert conditions. So you can see that it doesn't have an engine cover at all. So you can see the bare engine, which is, I mean, what you can see of a CMP engine, which is next to nothing, mainly because it's sitting on the driver's lap. But no, yeah, decking this out as long range desert group. This is a cool kit. And if when Don sees it, he will definitely buy it. You reckon?
You will.
Yeah. I mean, he's willing to buy mirror models, so
Anything can be better than that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, even I'd get this one. It looks great. Up next, we have a lot
Loser
coming.
planes.
We have a lot coming from AZ Model. A lot of BF109s. These are very early versions, so they have 6 releases, but they're mainly decals. They're all different decal sets and schemes. But we have 2 BF109 T2s. I'm not sure what the difference is between a T2 because it looks very much like an E variant. We have a BF109S, well, 2 BF109Ss, one in Europe and one in North Africa scheme. A BF109S is a dual seat BF109 with an extended canopy. And of course, we have a BF109 V13 or 14, the V series being the prototypes before they started using them in military and stuff like that. And this comes with a very cool air racer scheme and bright red, which is fairly neat. And lastly, a BF109E-0, which is the very first of the Emil series of the BF109. So if you are into 109s, you should look these up. I don't know how good AZ Model is, but
The box arts are cool.
I'll give them that. They look pretty good. They look nifty.
I think my favorite box art is 109S top center.
See, I like the 109S bottom center with the North Africa. But
Oh, of course you do.
They
It's North
all
Africa.
suck. They're all awful. They're all these loser planes.
Oh God, Cope.
see,
Cope.
touch grass.
Mauled.
Take another drink.
No
Okay,
bitches.
next. Up next.
Ooh, now this is a man's plane.
So from KP Model,
What the fuck?
KP Model bring out a lot of weird things, and that's why I like them. We have 3 Avia BH10s, which are some little weird Czechoslovakian low monowing open cockpit P26 P shooter wannabe type looking things. We have 3 boxings. We have standard that comes with a light blue camo scheme. We have a special markings, which is just with large numbers, and we have a military one with military markings and a very cool multicam color scheme. Actually, the Czechoslovakian military schemes are pretty neat. I'll give them that. But from KP, how good are KP models?
I've got a couple in the stash. I mean, I don't know. They're okay.
They're buildable.
They're
I
buildable.
think
You only buy them because they're the only model that exists of a certain subject in plastic. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it'd be cool to do this up in like HIDF scheme, like a little recon plane with like a camera on the bottom.
Yeah, I'd like that. Yeah, we've got 2. Yeah, I've got 2 KP models actually.
It'd be
And I've
kind of
built-
cool to put this on a runway next to like a fucking F-16 HIDF scheme.
There you go.
That would be pretty cool. It is I kind of like the plane. I think it looks neat.
It's cute. I like it.
Yeah.
It is cute. It's very cute. I think cute's a really good
Yeah.
word for it.
Especially with the exposed engine.
Yeah.
That'd be
Oh, that's bold.
It's like, oh, look at that little guy.
that'd be pretty cool to like try and detail with some lead wires and stuff.
Yeah, there's no excuse not to at that point.
Yeah. All right, what's next? We got another
More
KP.
models.
More KP. So this is a reboxing, unfortunately, of an Aero AE145. This is a dual engine, twin seat airliner. Well, sort of airline, personal transport, military use, sort of all round versatile utility aircraft. I put it on here because I kind of think it looks cool. We have special marking, standard, super aero part 1 and part 2, military. Yeah. It's just more of that sort of the weird sort of lesser known aircraft, basically.
If there's an aircraft called Dumbo, this would be it.
I mean, the nose of it. It looks like it's got a block nose.
Yeah, it's kind of goofy looking. It's cute. Like it
Yeah.
definitely looks like retro 50s.
It's got that style, hasn't it? That the retro. That's why I
Yeah.
like it. It's got. I think it's the engines as well. The engines have that like sort of narrow look to a 30s aircraft.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know. If I saw one and it was like dirt cheap, I'd probably get one. Again, Horizon Island. This would make a great Horizon Island.
Horizon Island is tank buster.
Heck yeah. Alright, what's next?
Border model with their new, what is it, the,
A7.
Yep.
How did you not know that? Question, does it come with the foliage on the box art?
My question is, look at the Bayraktar on the top.
The what?
What does this imply? Why is there a T-72 behind it? What is going on here?
Ukrainian captured, don't worry.
What? But I don't understand. It's got Balkenkreuz and German warning stripes. What? What is going on?
You
What
might
kind
need
of
to
fantasy
Smile and
land
nod,
is border
Dennis.
model living in?
You might need to explain this for the viewers.
You know
Dennis?
what? I'm assigning Garrison to do this. He's the only guy I would trust to explain this.
Okay, so using my special powers in the year 2025, when Germany is in the steppes of Ukraine once again, properly utilizing the Leopard for its purpose and use, combined arms with other tanks, not just by themselves. Stop that, Ukraine. This is just a screenshot of 2025 spring counteroffensive number 4.
Nah, it does look like it's going to be a good kit, though. I mean, it's border.
Yeah, it's I want it. I love it's.
I mean, the A7 is probably one of the few modern tanks I would build, just because it looks pretty good. Especially with that foliage on the front, I would definitely build it as that.
Oh, dude, I saw. I was looking at a YouTube video today talking about like the structure of Poland's military, like armored brigades and stuff, and there was footage of them training, and they had a Leopard with this really interesting snow pattern. It was literally like if you would have made it in a model and posted it on the Discord or anywhere in the modeling community, you would get so much shit from it because of how, quote, unrealistic it looks. I'll go get a screenshot of it and send it. It's fucking. I
We'll need
want
to
to get
see
a
that,
Leopard
yeah.
and do it.
Hey, Dennis, I just realized something.
What?
Well, you say there's a T-72 in the background, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's
But
a two.
that would imply that this is in Ukraine, right?
I suppose.
Or Poland.
But then you've got a Leopard there working with the T-72 that has German marking. So is this a possible Article
This is
5?
what I'm talking about. What is going on here? This doesn't make sense.
This is what happens when Russia fucks around and finds out.
I suppose so. Yes. Yeah.
Also, yeah, the red and white mud flap things,
It's what gives it away because only Germany has those.
and the iron cross on the side of the turret as well.
Yep.
Here we are.
But yeah, border models 35th Leopard to A7. Cool.
Yeah.
What's next? This is from I Love Kit. They are bringing out next year in 2024. They're releasing an M48. This is just a
Yes.
standard M48. Their last two releases were an M48A1 and an M48A5 MBT. But next year they will be releasing just a bog standard M48, which is based on the other two kits. It's just going to have new parts to make it just a standard M48. And if I ever see it, I want to get it because the M48 is a cool looking tank.
Yeah. This is fair.
Definitely HIDF that shit up. Not gonna lie.
I don't know, a Huey City one I wouldn't mind building.
Okay, that would actually be pretty tits.
Just I've seen like footage. I think it was either an M48 or an M60 that just face tanked a bloody RPG round right into the literally right in the front, and all it is a scorch mark left on the front. That looks yeah yes. But I actually heard a story about tankers in Hawaii. When was it Hawaii or like
Q.
in but in towns and cities and stuff like that, where they had an ROE and they weren't allowed to like destroy buildings without like confirmation and permission and all that bollocks. And they had this one. There was this tank crew, and they were saying they were aiming at this one building, and this one North Vietnamese soldier kept popping out with an RPG and shooting at them. Wasn't doing much to them. He was a bad shot, but they were getting a bit annoyed by him, and they were just literally waiting and waiting and waiting to get confirmation. And he said, I think it was the loader said that the minute the commander got got permission to fire, he didn't even finish saying the word fire, but by the time the gunner had put a high explosive round into the building, they were just that mad. He only got about halfway through saying fire when the round was already gone.
Nice.
I will say I've just found one little issue with this box art. One
What?
little issue that might make things a little bit difficult for the tank. Have a look at the muzzle brake and tell me what's wrong.
Oh, yep, that's a problem.
that would be a problem.
Yeah, it's got nowhere for the round to go out of. I forgot
Well,
the
you see,
pin in the
Callum,
barrel.
this is the brand new version where the round impacts and then it goes out the sides. So you go to a T intersection and you can hit both sides.
Flawless logic.
That's a little bit of a fail, but yeah.
Real quick, fellas, go look at podcast planning. I sent you the leopard camo.
Oh, yeah, yep, yeah. You
I
take
want
that.
to
You take
I
that
want to
to a
do
model
that
show.
so
They're
bad.
not going to like it.
I want to do that so bad. It looks so good. Like I just it
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you would get so many complaints.
Oh God, I would if I did that. I would bring those screenshots with me. Like
They'll still tell you you're wrong.
they would never do that. Yeah, well,
I like it.
Garrison, look at podcast planning.
let's see here.
Oh my
Let's
god.
see here. Oh yes. Oh my God.
Oh,
That
I
is
love it.
awesome. That is spectacular. I
What
love the barrel wrapping. That I'm gonna have to do that. That is.
what did they use as a stencil? I gotta know.
I know, right?
Because that is a very definite pattern within it. Like you can see the break in the line and stuff. Oh, that is awesome. I love that. All right, what's next?
Yeah.
So this is Model Collect, which
You can just skip.
Yeah.
they're bringing.
No, I'm not promoting
Hang on.
that. I'm not promoting that. I'm not using this podcast as a method of promoting that stuff.
Okay.
You want to go be aware, we go do it with some other podcast.
This is what we're here for. The little fucking
Yes, sir.
league.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is from I Love Kid as well. They are bringing out an M3 Grant, not a Lee. It is a Grant. And an M1014 with an M747 semi-trailer. That is in 35th scale as well. That will be massive. And I want it.
Yes.
But for both of them, they will have 2 decal sheets for them. The Grant will have just a standard desert camo, and then also, you know, the camo you see of the Grant in Bovington. It's got the desert scheme but it's been outlined with black and white. That's the other scheme that's going to be coming with it. So it's a
That'll
cool
be
looking
cool.
tank. Yeah, I wouldn't mind one. I really want to build a Lee or a Grant, but they are stupid expensive for some reason. Like, because what are the main ones you've got? You got Mini Art, which are overly complex and cost about $130. Or you got the Tamiya one, which still retails at about $80 to $90 over here.
Mhm.
You got Academy, which is I don't know.
It's okay, I guess.
Yeah, but it still has a very, very high price point. So, yeah. That's downside to Lee's. They're a bit pricey for some reason. And Grants. But yeah. Also, side note, weird looking plastic. Those are built up models, and that is a weird. I don't know. It's got a weird sort of look to it. It almost looks like resin.
Yeah, I see what you're saying with that.
Yeah, it's got a definite sort of resiny look to it. More wearaboo stuff. All I'm going to say is we got two 88mm flak 41s. One that is on a standalone and trailer with figures, and another that is part of the Schwer Zugkraft wagon 18 ton.
Look, I'm just gonna say this: you can never say that a fucking arty piece like that sitting on a roadway does not look cool. I don't care who made it. It could be fucking North Korea makes their own. That shit looks just fucking like
Because that's it in its transport stage as well.
They said, "Hey, hold up real quick."
It's like, hang on, we see something. Just give us a minute. Put the brakes on. Anyway, I can hear Dennis huffing and puffing, so we'll go on to the next the next one.
Alrighty.
Yes.
I can hear his blood pressure through the microphone.
You boys are going to be the death of me yet.
So in 35th from Mini Art, we have a Pak 40 Late, which is a German 75mm anti-tank gun with an elite artillery regimental crew figures
Elite
with it.
Elite, they say.
Yeah.
Bro's just mad.
Yeah, he is. But yeah. Cool bucks
I'm elite.
Okay, next I can hear Dennis like about to pass out from hyperventilating.
I'll build loser planes. I like winning actually.
Jesus fuck.
Oh, we have up next we have a Wing Tech 2 with a 148th BF109E4, which build wise, I'm not saying subject, Dennis, not saying subject. Build wise though, looks pretty good. I think you and someone else were talking about this on the server.
Yeah, the guy who hates me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You're saying something was slide molded that hasn't been done before. One piece fuselage. Oh yes, the fuselage is slide molded.
Yeah.
That's an interesting take.
I mean, I think that's a good idea. It just sucks that they made that such a crappy plane.
You would have preferred if it was a Spitfire, right?
I'd prefer it if it was a CF-105, but we can't always have what we want in life, can we?
Okay, we'll go to the next one.
Bro's upset.
Alright, this is tolerable.
Okay, so we have two ships coming from Trumpeter. In 700, we have an HMS York and a USS Iowa. Don't know what Trumpeter ships are like, but
I think they're okay.
yeah,
I think they're alright.
I mean, I've built IGB and IBG and Tamiya waterline kits, but I don't know what Trumpeter is like. Although I don't actually see a lot of Trumpeter 700s around New Zealand. They're mainly Hobby Boss ones, which I'd rather not.
They're the same.
Are they?
Yeah, they're the same exact kit.
Who rips off who then? Two ships, Trumpeter. Skip on.
Alrighty, time for our whips. This is what I've been working on. Still working on my 1/72 scale RCN Banshee from Academy, and yeah, I'm at the appreciating stage right now with it.
Is this the one that you bought just because it had 4 Canadian markings?
Yes. I was awestruck.
I've seen that kit around. I didn't realize it had that many Canadian. It had more Canadian markings than it had anything else.
Yep. Yeah, that's why I bought it.
Is that why Don had a happy accident when he saw that?
He did, yes, and I got caught in it. I couldn't escape.
What's this white stuff? Is it snow? Oh, it's not.
No.
Oh fuck!
So wait, why am I sticking to the road?
We've run out of milk.
Oh Jesus! No, that looks cool. That looks really cool.
Ooh.
All right, for my whips, I finally finished my HMS Rodney. Put it on a base, added some water to it, used AK still water and paper towels and stuff to create a bell wave, and yeah, now I just need to convert my photo booth, my light box, to actually take proper photos of it because it's too big. I'm not sure how to take decent photos of a ship, so yeah. But it's all finished. It's on the shelf. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty well. Right, so just before we get to Garrison's whips, unfortunately Dennis has just dropped out due to some difficulties, technical ones that is. Of course, he is in Canada and their internet kinda sucks. So yeah, he's dropped out, but it's just going to be me and Garrison to close this out with Garrison's whips. So let's see what you've done.
All right, so I've been working on the vehicles and the figures for my Ukraine war diorama from the counteroffensive from 2023, and I figured I'd show you guys some of the figures. So this guy, right, you see in front of you, he is the first actual like infantryman I've got that I've painted up. I'm not done with him yet, obviously, getting close, but yeah, very very exciting. I had a blast doing the multicam, painting up all the different things on his kit. Yeah, looking forward to getting him done. So if you'll jump to the next slide for me, Callum.
He's looking really cool. I do like the bum cover thingy. What do they call them?
Butt pads. It's
Yeah.
literally just butt pads. Yeah.
I wonder how many other countries now are watching them use them, going, "That's not a bad idea."
Dude, I'm not lying to you, bro. We had one of our guys recommend those in our company, and there was a petition to get it to where we could buy our own if we wanted, but our battalion commander never let us.
But they're just like such a good idea. Like,
They are. They're
it's the one
lightweight.
good idea that the Russians had.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I'm even
fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm like sitting going, that would be really good just for my work, working outside. Because yeah, why didn't anyone else think of that? But
That's a good question.
he's looking really good, especially from a distance. That multicam just works so well.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Next, we've got the next three figures will be all crewmen for the Humvee. You got the driver there on the left, and then the passenger on the right. These guys, I wanted to make them look convincing enough when if you're looking at them from outside the vehicle, because that's how they'll be inside the vehicle. They look convincing enough, but I'm not 100% set on all the fine details and shit. Still, great practice. Very happy with how they turned out, with the exception of the driver and his beard. I probably should have gone with my PVA flock mixture and made an actual beard instead of painting one on, but oh well, you really won't see it anyways. But yeah.
Got the DJ Khaled looking right now.
Yep. Very, very dark beard.
That's kind of a good thing about chucking figures in vehicles is you don't have to go overboard on them because they're going to be stuck behind glass, and you just got to give like the sort of illusion that they're what they are.
Yep, and that's another great thing about them too is like, because for me painting multicam, I've never painted it before these guys, so it was great getting to practice it on, like, for an example, like the legs and shit where you won't see it. So if I fucked them up, it doesn't matter, you know.
Yeah.
But the next one is the 50 cal gunner on top of the Humvee, so you can kind of see him there. And the whole idea with this is that he's engaging targets inside of a trench with his 50 cal. He has some blood coming down from his head. He wiped his forearm on his head. He got hit in the helmet. His helmet will be inside the Humvee, like it got dinged off, and he's just engaging. And then there on the right, you can kind of see I made some kind of poorly spent 50 cal shells. I made them a little bit too long, but it is what it is. It's such a small detail that people probably won't even notice once the actual diorama is complete. It's how large it's going to be.
That's looking pretty damn good. I'm always impressed just how big those turrets are on the Humvees. They don't like. There's a
Oh, they're
lot of
fucking
room on the
huge.
roof. Yeah. Like
They're
how do you actually turn them around? Is it like a hand crank or are they powered?
So depending on the model, you will always have a hand crank as backup, but yeah, a lot of them nowadays have this little joystick you can turn and it goes left or right. But this kit specifically, it only has a hand crank, so I don't know if you really can't see it because it's underneath. But yeah, it's just hand crank. Kind of if you can kind of imagine like an old like Sherman tank, how they had the hand crank and then eventually got the hydraulic.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
so kind of like that.
That's got to make the Humvees top heavy as fuck, doesn't it? Or is it just
No,
like is
I
there enough
mean,
weight underneath it that it's kind of just evens
yeah,
out?
they're pretty hefty vehicles. So the top turret really doesn't do all. I mean, it adds weight obviously, but not what you would think. Like if
Oh
this
yeah.
was like a fucking what's a good vehicle to think of? I don't know, but yeah, no, they have low enough weight that it doesn't really mess with it.
And they're really wide as well, so you got a wide wheelbase that stops it.
Oh
And
fuck yeah.
except for the ones that do look bad, they look bad for that is the is it the Afghan ones or the ones where they put a single 23 autocannon on it? Have you seen those ones?
Oh yes, I have seen those.
Yeah, yeah. You see those and that's like, oh, you turn too sharply, that whole thing's going. Like those look ungainly, but they love those 23 millimeter autocannons on Humvees.
I honestly don't blame them. It would take a very it would take a lot of power for those things to flip, even with on being on flat terrain, obviously. But like
Mm,
uh, even with a big turret like that. However, if you're going on mountain passes and shit like that, and you're going a little too fast, that extra weight can I don't care what you're in, that extra weight's going to throw you around a little bit, and I would not want to risk it on like a fucking mountain pass.
yeah. Also, it just presents a much bigger target to shoot at as well. Those things are
Oh fuck yeah.
massive. Now that's looking pretty awesome. I can't wait. You've been talking about this diorama a lot and how many figures, but it'd be interesting to see just when it actually starts coming together as on the base. Have you started the base yet?
So I've got the actual base part in. Like I'm staring at it right now. It's 3.5 foot by 2 foot wooden, spectacular piece that this guy made for me. He's currently in the process of moving right now, so I can't get the top piece made. So I'm waiting for that to actually start the base. Because I'm gonna have to take this to his house. We're gonna use the base he made as a guide to making the top part, which will be a wooden frame with plexiglass on all sides. So it's like a top cover to protect from dust and shit like that. So once I get that built, which will likely be sometime in January or February, then I will start making the actual terrain. But for now, it's just finishing up the BMP2, the Humvee, and then working on the figures because I've got a total of like fucking 40 to do, which is a lot. So I'm gonna be pretty busy.
Just a little bit, eh?
Yeah, man. The it's so like because I was very intimidated to work on the figures, especially the multicam, because of how intricate the fucking camo is. But doing these four that I've been working on, it, multicam's not that bad, and I know it's not like if you're looking at if you're watching, not just listening, but if you're watching and you see the guy on screen, like it's not the best multicam. Like I've seen some better, but for doing I did that within like an hour, no, like 2.5 hours, and that includes drying time. That's pretty good for that short amount of time, I think, and it's convincing enough once it's weathered and all that shit. So I'll definitely be able to get through it. And painting the multicams, nice and relaxing. It's not as nearly as daunting as I thought it would be, which gives me more helps me look forward to painting different types of camouflage patterns for like the Russians and others for the Ukrainians. Like I'm going to try to do some Ukrainian digital camo as well, which that's going to be interesting. I'll probably do sponge chipping for that. It's like sponge chipping, but making a camo pattern out of it. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah. So when are you going to start tackling Flicktarn?
It's funny you say that because I'm actually staring at so you know the guy with the AT4 on his shoulder?
Yep.
Yeah, his pants are going to be Flecktarn. I've got the base color on them right now, so.
Oh, cool. That'll be cool to see.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited to try Flecktarn. I probably won't do too much of it. I'll do like pants or a shirt here and there, but it's mainly going to be multicam for the Ukrainians, and then I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do for the Russians. I want to do some of their modern EMR camo, and then some of the old like Soviet era shit that they still use. So,
like Maxim machine guns and those the steel helmets.
yes.
Although to be honest, those World War II steel helmets are probably better than the ones they've got now.
Yeah, depending on which unit. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Like, have you seen those videos of like one guy literally smashing one with his hand?
Yeah, oh, excuse me. Yes, I have. I have.
Ugh. Yeah. No. Bugger that.
Yeah, fuck that. Imagine going to combat with not good gear. No thanks.
The guy next to you gets a ricochet off his helmet and it just shatters like porcelain. You'd just be like, "What the fuck?"
It's like, wait a second.
This plate carrier feels really light. What's in here? Cardboard.
Go get shot and find out.
Yeah, it's like, wait, why does it say airsoft on the inside?
That would fucking suck.
Actually, I mean, I joke about that. There's a very, very good chance a few soldiers are running around with airsoft gear and they probably don't even know about it.
I mean, I'll be honest, dude. Some of that airsoft shit can be better than what you actually get. Like airsoft mag pouches versus the stand. Like when I bought mag pouches for my plate carrier while I was in the Marine Corps, I bought airsoft mag pouches, and dude, they were 100% better than the standard issue shit. Now
Really?
that's a mag pouch. Oh, 100%, dude. That shit was like don't get me wrong, like the old school Marine Corps Velcro Molly mag pouches, they do the job, but they're bulky. They just look bad in my opinion. So when I bought the ones that it's single stack with a fucking band that goes over the top of the mag to help keep it in.
Oh yeah.
And I put that on my plate carrier on the front of it because like when you go into the prone using the ones the Marine Corps gives you, you like it's very uncomfortable and you sit up all awkward. And when I bought the airsoft ones, I was able to lay more comfortably in the prone, and I could put extra mag pouches on my belt instead of having all that shit on my chest. So there are some instances where airsoft gear or aftermarket gear is better than what they give you.
Huh. All right. Guess I learned something.
Yeah, so did our battalion commander, and then he made us all put our fucking shit back when we got a new battalion commander.
And then they're like, no, we're going back to standard.
Literally there was because it used to be shooter preference, and then he was like, nope, there's a left-handed shooter and a right-handed shooter. Everyone looks the same. It's like, bro, you're a fucking prick.
I think that's why the Ukraine forces are doing so well. They're just like pick and choose whatever they've got.
Pretty much, man. Because we had such a good, like, we would go on like live fire events and shit, and we did well. Like the entire unit did well, and because everyone they trained with what they had, how they had it, and shit for like 2 or 3 years, and then you get this new fucking asshole coming on, and he literally makes you switch back to basically infantry school layout, which is like all your mag pouches on the front, and then is stupid, and everyone that immediately the performance dropped, and he was like, why have we dropped performance? And it's like, bro,
It's like because we're not using the stuff we want to use.
Yeah, it's like some dudes like belligerently performed worse, but a lot of guys just like, and I say worse, times weren't as fast. Like we'd go to like a range where you do like mag drills and shit, and you do like two to the chest, one to the pelvis crap, and then have to like reload or whatever. Dudes were taking like half over a time and a half more than it used to take us to fucking put mags in and re-engage a target. It was bad. Like having to retrain your body to do that shit is like so fucking stupid when there's no need to.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to group builds. This is our favorite.
Yes. So for the foreseeable future, which I don't know, I've made a new slide. I don't know why it's not in here, but for the foreseeable future, the Horizon Island Defense Force group build is ongoing. Just always. So every so often we'll throw some more builds out there that people do, just to show off. It's kind of our niche, if you would. But yeah, come build some HIDF shit. And then the current North Africa campaign group build that's going on. Come join us. We have a spectacular prize. Only one man will win, or woman. So come join, have fun, see all the really cool builds that are going on. We'd love to have you. Contact us on any of the socials you see down there, and hope to see you.
Yeah, because we've got some really, really good builds going on. You got Don's Valentine tank. You got Christian Sherman. I think he's made a Sherman for every single group build, or Sherman base.
Yeah, I think so too, actually. You've also got that Polish guy. He's making that diorama. The guy who won last. I can't remember his name. He won the last. Mikal, yes. He's making that really awesome diorama. Like, oh god.
That's right. It's got the Panzer IV that's cut up in the corner. What's the main vehicle he's working on? It's
Italian, I think.
Totally forgotten what it was.
You know, it's funny though.
It isn't. It is Italian though. I know that because he was really excited when we dropped the Italian tanks episode.
Anyway. That Panzer IV he's got in that diorama.
That's the one he won from the last group build.
It is. I remember he was texting me. He was so excited. He's like, "Oh, I'm so happy y'all are doing the North Africa campaign because now I can use my Panzer IV." I was like, "Awesome, dude! I'm glad you're happy." But yeah, come join us. Lots of fun. Good shit. Are you actually real quick? Are you going to do anything for that, Callum?
Yeah. I got the MS406 with the CMP and the figures. I don't have the correct colors for doing the 406 at the moment, and I can't. Like the main color that I don't have is like a sort of bluish gray. All my other colors are like way too grayish or something like that. So I can't. There's a lot of bluish gray in a lot of the things I'm putting in the diorama, so I needed to go and get those. But I need to build something, so I've just been working on. I'm about to start something soon, which is like you ever go like you sit there going, I've got plans for a build, and then you just get that one inkling of I want to build this, this, and this, but I really want to build this right now. And it's like something completely outside of what you're planning on, but you're just like, I really want to do this one for some reason.
Yep.
Yeah, so mine is the Newport 17 32nd scale biplane.
Another 32nd scale aircraft. Biplane at that. My man.
Yeah. It's the same one as the Camel that I did. So it's the really El Cheapo Academy 32nd scale. It was like $25.
Nice.
Yeah, those Academy kits are actually pretty decent. That's why I like to. That's why I'm can't wait to build it. Yeah, they're just really good.
That's good.
All right, and of course, Micro Machines podcast is sponsored by Scale Colors and Scale Colors 3D. If you are looking for some very good acrylic airbrushable paint and airbrush ready paint, log on to scalecolors.com. You can find him on Facebook or through his website. Especially if you're doing naval subjects, he has a great range for naval subjects, but also just anything and everything in general. He does some meticulous fact finding on paint colors and all of that. And if you're looking for a paint color, ask him, send him a message. He'll probably have it. If not, he might be able to work something out for you, help you source it, whatever. And if you are looking for some very good 3D printed tracks, well, he has his SC3D division, and that is all sorts of things. You got Panzer IVs, Panthers, Tigers, KV1s, Shermans, T55s, all sorts of amazing resin 3D printed tracks. They're all workable. They're very, very easy to put together. If you need any recommendations about that, I would send an email to Martin Drayton because he buys them all the time, and he absolutely loves them, and they just come out amazingly. Yeah. So if you are looking for some 3D printed tracks, because you bought a Tamiya kit and it's only got rubber bands, and you don't want rubber bands, check out SE3D and Scale Colors. He could do with the support. Buy as much as you can from him. He is cheap, and yeah, big shout out to Jeff for sponsoring our podcast.
Woo, Jeff!
And once you have finished listening to us, you should go and find out about all the other podcasts if you don't listen to any other modeling podcasts, of course. So this slide is outlining all of them. We have Scale Model Podcast, one of the OG ones, On the Bench, which is the original scale modeling podcast. I think they're up to their 7th year running.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I think they're 100 and I want to say 180 episodes, maybe more.
That's insane.
And they're bi-weekly. Then you have the AM show. AM show. They're new. Models from Ukraine, which is Chris Meddings talking with like ICM and IBG and all of those. Built Sideways, Just Making Conversation, Model Geeks, Sprue Cutters Union, Plastic Model Mojo, they're good to listen to. Model Insanity and podcast, Small Subjects, Plastic Posse podcast, and Model by Car Bowden. That one's I want to say they're Swedish. That's a Swedish modeling podcast. Is it Swedish or Danish? One of those.
I'm not sure.
I think, yeah, it's somewhere from up there. I don't think they speak English, but if you can speak Swedish or Danish or whatever they are, you should go and check them out. Or if you are really, really, really tech savvy, you could probably run their podcast audio through an AI and have it auto translate into English for you, if you are so inclined. But however, I would encourage everyone to go and check these out once you have finished listening to us. Me personally, I listen to On the Bench, Plastic Model Mojo, Just Making Conversation, and Model Geeks the most, but I have listened to the others here and there when I've, they're all good. They're all good. They're all good to listen to. So, yeah, go check out all the other podcasts once you've listened to us. And, of course, none of this can be done without the support from our Patreons. They support us through Patreon, where you get all sorts of different content, all the stuff we're not allowed to say on the podcast during an episode, and we say some bad things during an episode, so imagine what all of that stuff is. And it's also,
You're welcome.
Yep, it's also, just stuff that's like, during an intermission, we usually let the recording run just because we're too lazy to pause it. And there's usually a bit of banter there and there during there, so we chuck all of that kind of stuff. We are looking into throwing up STL files of stuff that we make. So, yeah, you get all sorts of goodies, and it's only, $3 a month? Something like that. It's dirt cheap. So, yeah, go check out our Patreon. But a big thanks to Paul Gallagher, Lord Floki, and Robert Justin for being Pinju supporters, and Pinju follower Robert Brisbane. So,
Thank you, gents.
Every week we give them a big shout out because they help keep the lights on with the running costs and everything like that. So that's why we add on those little tidbits, those little extras, just as a big thank you to them and to you that decide to join our Patreon. Right. Well, I guess, Dennis isn't here because of Canadian internet, so I guess we better close the episode out, hadn't we?
Yeah, I think so. It's a pretty good one.
All right. Well, if you are still here listening and watching, we would like to say thank you for listening to the Micro Machines podcast, and we'll see you next week. Let's see. It's near the end of 2023, mid-December, so next episode will be a 2023 recap, recapping the year that we're of modeling so far. So that's going to be a good episode. Those are fun, and also that will mark we are 3 months from our 2-year anniversary as well.
Wow, that's crazy.
So, yeah. But until then, it's bye for now.
Deuces.